Okay, so today we'll be talking about the Brigance Comprehensive Inventory of Basic Skills 2 test. In this test, there are subtests in both reading and math. There are a total of 154 assessments in the reading portion and 264 assessments in the math portion. It is a norm reference test that ranges from kindergarten to 8th grade for the math section and kindergarten to 9th grade for the reading portion. Math has assessment sections in number and operations, algebra, geometry, measurement, and data analysis and probability. Reading includes readiness, speech, listening, oral reading, reading comprehension, short and long passages, word analysis, functional word recognition, spelling, writing, and responding to writing prompts. This test assesses for effective diagnosis and instructional planning and develops goals and objectives for IEPs. In order to administer the test, you'll need the record books, the assessment booklet, which is the 2 binders here, pencils, multicolored pens, and a copy of the tests that are being administered.
Step when administering the CIBS-2 is planning ahead. You must become familiar with the assessment procedures, and you must choose a proper environment for testing. This could include a private room or a quiet classroom where students are not noisy. For younger students, the assessment should be scheduled early in the day, and testing should not be conducted if the student is not well or when it requires them to miss a special event. This test may be administered individually or in small groups when appropriate. Once you have scheduled the test, you must select the appropriate assessments. This involves deciding which skill areas to assess, selecting the appropriate skill levels within each assessment, and selecting the best assessment method. This could include individual or oral response, individual or group written response, individual physical response, observation, or an interview. You must also anticipate administration time depending on the assessments and the student. Before you begin testing, you must write all student data such as name and age in the record book. You may also need to adapt the assessment procedures. The directions and procedures should be followed unless you feel that an adaptation will yield more valid results. Adaptation should only be considered when you think that the student has not performed a skill because of factors such as lack of confidence, difficulty understanding directions, speech problems, language differences or difficulties, vision problems, or reading difficulties. To do this, you may change the sequence of the assessment and adapt the procedures.
Once you begin conducting the assessment, be sure to position the inventory correctly and follow the script given for each assessment. Only vary from the script if the assessment was adapted. While you are assessing, you will use the record book to record the assessment data. While you are recording, use a pencil and different colored pens to determine that students have mastered and to set objectives. If the student skips or omits an answer, write DNA, which means did not answer, next to the skill.
Once the assessments have finished, you will need to score the task and interpret the results. The administrator will individually score each assessment area. This is done by multiplying the total number of correct answers in a section by a specific point value for each question. Once the scores are determined, gather the results. The maximum amount of points the student can obtain is 100. Then, compare the student's scores to the national average scale. This will allow you to determine the student's percentile rank. When interpreting the assessment results, consider the student's physical or health factors, poor testing conditions, language and cultural factors, the student's refusal to perform the assessment, and undiagnosed disabilities. After the assessment has been scored, the information gathered can be used to identify present levels of academic achievement, determine need for additional assessment, identify instructional objectives and activities, and provide ongoing assessment and progress monitoring.
Alright, Alexis, so today we are going to be doing a couple little games to show me what shapes you know. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you to color all of the squares, rectangles, triangles, and circles in different colors. Okay. So first, I want you to find all of the squares and color each square blue. If you could color it, so make sure there you go.
Find all of the rectangles. Color each rectangle red. Red. Rectangle red. Okay. Alright. Find all of the triangles. Color each triangle green. Triangles green? Okay. Find all of the circles. Color each circle yellow. 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 Okay. Okay. Alright, Alexis, so now we are going to be doing our second game. So, what I'm going to have you do is write the name of each shape on the top line. Okay. And then write the number of sides and corners that each shape has. Keep working until you are finished or until I tell you to stop. Okay. So go ahead. All done? Yep. Awesome. All done. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
I am going to say some words. Listen carefully and then write the first letter you hear in each word. Be sure to write only the first letter. Ready?
Ready.
Build. You can build a sandcastle at the beach. Build. Heat. Turn on the oven to heat your food. Heat. Size. What is the size of your shoes? Size. Mild. Is that salsa mild or spicy? Mild. Wave. Wave hello to your friend. Wave. Fake. Are those flowers real or fake? Fake. Loan. Will you loan me your pencil? Loan. Tent. I slept in a tent when I went camping. Tent. Cash. How much cash is in your wallet? Cash. Dive. Can you dive in the pool? Dive. Peach. Pick a peach off of the tree. Peach. Next. When is your next class? Next. Reach. Can you help me reach the top shelf? Reach. Game. Do you want to play a game? Game. Yard. My dog likes to play in the yard. Yard. King. The king lives in the castle. King. Junk. Throw away all of that junk. Junk. View. What a beautiful view. View. Quack. The duck goes quack. Cent. A penny equals 1 cent. Cent. Zoo. The animals live at the zoo. Zoo.
You are going to look at some pairs of pictures. Some objects are different in size and some are the same size. Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
Different.
Point to the smaller object. Point to the bigger object. Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
Same.
Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
Same.
Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
They're different.
Point to the smaller object. Point to the bigger object. Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
Different.
Point to the smaller object. Point to the bigger object. Are these objects different in size or are they the same size?
Same.
Okay. Point to the smallest ball. Now point to the largest ball. Finally, point to the ball that is between the smallest and the largest. Good. Point to the biggest box. Now point to the smallest box. Point to the box that is in between the smallest and the biggest. Point to the largest flower. Now point to the smallest flower. Finally, point to the flower that is between the largest and the smallest. Point to the smallest balloon. Now point to the biggest balloon. Finally, point to the balloon that is between the smallest and the biggest. Point to the largest bear. Now point to the smallest bear. Finally, point to the bear that is between the largest and the smallest. Point to the smallest bag. Now point to the largest bag. Finally, point to the bag that is between the smallest and the largest.
I am going to dictate some words and I want you to write them. I will say a word, use the word in a sentence, and then say the word again. Do the best you can to spell each word correctly. Ready?
Yep.
Add. I can add 8 plus 2. Add. Ball. Hit the ball with the bat. Ball. Book. I can read this book. Book. Hand. She caught the ball with one hand. Hand. Find. What did you find? Find.